Good day. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you going?
I was just wondering if you're up for having a chat with me, answering some questions.
No, thanks. You can do it.
I've got a YouTube channel with one video and 15 subscribers. I live in the area.
okay.
I walk around. I talk to people.
It depends on the question. Any question I think is good, I'll answer. Ask whatever you like.
Yeah, thanks. The simple question is, I've heard about this rally happening. So I'm curious, what are the objectives of this rally today? What are you trying to achieve?
Achieve awareness for the general public as right-wing worldwide become increasing. Right-wing mean a lot of racism, mean dividing communities, meaning trouble in the communities, mean unsettled, mean crimes, mean everything. I try to actually unite the communities based on the ability of the humans, how they can work and provide to the community and contribute to the community, not based on race and color skin.
Yeah, I think it's fair. And why do you think there is this rise of the right, as you say, right wing?
It's driven by two things. There's a human racism, which is ideology being spread, less education into the people right wing of how to actually consider other humans. The other reason is superiority of thinking we are better than others. And sometimes it's driven by big corporations, the big money, because the big corporators would love to have these kind of things to make more money from us. That divide us to top guys earning the money and vast majority producing for the big corporations. That's how we drive it, financial and education, basically. That's easy. That's how it's driven.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you.
And in terms of this rally, I think the title of it was. So I think the event is hosted by Free Palestine group Dandenong or something like that. What is that about?
Well, I'm not sure who actually called for the rally, but the rally is anti-racism. Now, a Free Palestine group could be one of the contributors for it, and they have the full right. Recently, for the last 3 years, specific for last years, we have worldwide a lot of complicit about the genocide happening in Palestine. Never been happened in the history the way how it's happened these days, which is the whole world know about it, watch it live. More than 200,000 people lost their life or lost somebody, more than 80,000 completely dead, 40,000 kids died, and everybody watching and still going every single day, and nobody doing nothing about it. That's unfortunately driven the world to the right wing to support what's happening of that genocide, and we're against it. And driven by Zionist regimes, which is again, they backed up by big corporation, big businessmen worldwide, again for money.
Yes, that's interesting. And by the way, I'm against all forms of violence, war, conflict. I don't support any sort of conflicts in any way. But I'm curious. I'm not an expert on history, so I had to do a lot of reading to learn a bit more about the region and Palestine and Israel and Gaza and so on and so forth. And I'm curious, when the 7th of October happened, I saw a lot of support from a lot of Muslims, Australian Muslims that I saw even celebrating the 7th of October in front of Sydney Opera House, chanting "Gas the Jews." I lost some friendships with some Muslims actually that I was friends with after the 7th of October because I tried to sort of have a balanced discussion of the conflict. Who would you say is the most responsible for the current conflict?
That's just two questions there. You talked about the 7th of October, then you asked me in the end who's responsible for the current conflict. Who's responsible for the current conflict, basically, it's British. It's the Western world. It's the Western Europe, the one who were anti-Semitic, they killed the Jews, who they kicked the Jews out of it, if you talk about the responsibility. They're the one decided to strip the indigenous of Palestine from their land, give it to what they call themselves the Jews of Europe, and support their immigrations and occupied Palestine, if they ask about the responsible. 7 October is not 7 October, it's just before it was another 75 years before 7 of October, 78 years. This did not start in 7 of October. The killing of the Palestinians and this mantle the Palestinians from their land. I'm one of their victims, by the way. My mom and my dad refugees from the 48 of Palestine. If I'm talking about something belonged to me, hurt me, I born and grew up in a refugee camp. If I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's nothing to do with Jewish at all. It's to do about humans. They consider themselves they above other humans. They're more severe than other humans. They call themselves Zionists, regardless if they're Jews, not Jews, Christians, Muslims, whatever they are. And they give their rights to do whatever they want to do and justify it by killing and despair and steal lands doesn't belong to them. 7th of October, it is celebration for all humans. Feel free, because it's not about killing the 1,200 guys was in Palestine. That is the very small narrative if you look at it. It's about breaking a jail, lasted for 17 years. Israel put 2.5 million, 2.4 million in a big jail, and they have to break that jail. That is, if you're going to take it that way. To break out of that jail, it's a celebration. Okay, feel sorry for everybody who died anywhere, including 1,200, except the ones that were soldiers supporting killing these people. We don't feel sorry for them at all. I don't feel sorry for any commit or work or contribute of killing any human anywhere, including in Palestine. But we anti-death, anti-war anyhow. But again, we don't stand, let anybody take our rights and kill us and watch. We have the full right to defend ourselves. By all the international laws, we have the full right to defend ourselves, but every mean, including the armed resistance, including the fight. So the 7th of October was one of it, no more, no less. If it's happened before, yes, it did happen before the 7th of October. It's the same scale, no, it was a lot less. It's going to happen in the future, yes. It's going to happen in the future. In a bigger scale, I guarantee you it's a lot bigger scale. Because that's the right of the indigenous to fight for their rights. Depends where you are, who your city. If somebody attacks your city or your home, you're going to defend it. We have the full right to defend ourselves in every mean, by every single law, including the international laws.
I think that I agree with some of that. I disagree with some of that.
What you don't agree with?
My question, I guess, is more. Again, I'm not an expert in the region, right?
But what to disagree with what I said? Isn't it the right for you to defend yourself?
No. I think everyone has the right to defend the home. I'm from Ukraine, by the way.
Yeah,
so if that's if that has any
you're
context.
actually fighting for your own rights in Ukraine now, isn't it or not?
The question that I have is, so when the 7th of October happened, right? So the attack happened. We can, resistance, whatever you want to call it. Israel was always going to respond, right? It's a reasonable expectation that Israel was going to respond. The way I see it is, by attacking Israel on the 7th of October, Hamas put innocent Palestinians in harm's way, because they knew Israel had to respond.
They were attacking the 6th of October, by the way. Israel attacked in the 6th of October. They attacked in the 5th of October. They attacked in the 1st of October. There's ongoing genocide happened since 1933, 34. It was the peak of it in 1948. But to say to me, if they didn't do nothing in 7th of October, they go in living in a paradise, in a beautiful life. No, they were in a concentration camp, 2.4 million in 40 kilometers long, 7 kilometers wide. Can you imagine how big is that land? Can you imagine how small it is? And they've been jailed, and nothing allowed to enter or goes out of that area without Israel permission. And the killing was happening anyhow daily. The children was targeting daily. In 2018, it was a peaceful march to the border to return to their own villages. They've been shot by snipers, watching big screens by the Israeli citizens and by the Israeli armies. 2018 was a peaceful march. Wasn't anything. So if you be quiet, you're not going to be killed. That's unfortunately it's a wrong assumption, because you're being killed anyhow. If you're going to be dead anyhow, as well you resist.
I mean, using that logic, that makes sense. But I worry that because of the October the 7th, that gave Israel the right to defend its citizens, the right to retaliate, and actually resulted in many more people dying on both sides. So I'm afraid that the violence will just continue forever.
Forever, no. Definitely it's not forever. Why? Because we have a certainty we're going to liberate Palestine. We're going to defeat the Zionist occupation. Certainly Israel is not going to be existed anymore the way how it is now. Again, not anti-Jewish. We always had the Jewish lived in Palestine. We always had Jewish lived in other Arab countries. We protected as Arab and as Muslims, include the Turks, Jewish, from conflicts everywhere, including when they've been chambered and gassed by Hitler, and there's a Muslims in Europe protected them. Muslim in North Africa protected them. For nothing against Jewish. Against Israel, 100%, no big deal. Going to continue violence? Yes, until we win. We have the right to defend, and we have the longer breath to continue. Going to 7 October, end up result of 80,000 accounted for. There's a lot more is not accounted for dead. We know that. We know the price is very heavy. Is that gonna stopping us from continue the journey? No. We all of us thinking we are one of two, either a winner or a project of a martyr. That's who we are. That's how we think. Either we win or we're going to die as a martyr. But we don't care too much about it, because if we don't do that, we lose our humanity, we lose our dignity. And we're not willing to use our humanity or our dignity. By the way, my father-in-law Jewish, just for your own knowledge. There's nothing anti-Semitic, nothing anti-Jewish. A lot of our friends Jewish. A lot of our neighbors Jewish. And Christians and atheists and whatever it is. But our rights is our rights. And that's going to continue until we will liberate Palestine from the river to the sea. Who remain there can live with us, like us, have the right of us, the same as us. When I say who remain there, doesn't matter who the hell are they. Could be Ukraine came 50 years ago, lived in Palestine, which is heaps of them, by the way. Okay, it could be Russians, it could be indigenous from Palestine, because they are indigenous from Palestine. Okay, I'm talking about the Jews now. Okay, or could be from North Africa, could be from South Africa. They all have the same right as us. If they're going to live with us, with no one better than other, no one more severe than other. I think that's again more than fair. That's what we go for.
I think a lot of that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
It was nice to talk to you.
Anytime, my friend.
I'll do the rounds.
You can hear it, and you can actually go through it too. If you find anything I did wrong, you see me in all the rallies of Palestine, come approach me again.
Yeah, I don't cut videos. I don't have time for it. I upload the whole video as a whole, and people.
It all, and you can find that nothing I said is wrong. We anti-racism, anti-Zionist. We look for the humans all the same. Palestine, one of the best countries in the world, because if you go to Palestine, you find the blue eyes, the blonde, the Africans, the dark, the straight hair, the curly hair, and from the same family. From the same family. Some of my nieces, my grandson, by the way, very white. I would love to see him, 3.5 months old. Very white. My dad, very white. Look at me. I'm very brown. Okay? And that's who we are. And there's no difference between me and my grandson.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.